Hey YouTube, it's Richard, founder of Short-Term Rental University and Airbnb Superhost. Today's video is going to be a discussion about what I see happening on our Facebook group, a question asked all the time, which is what to do, how to deal with damage done by guests. So this same question keeps coming up in the Facebook group time and time again, almost daily, from very minor things all the way to very specific larger things. And in order to address it properly in this video, we're going to talk about it in exactly those terms. So if I had to estimate, I'd say somewhere around 85 to 90% of the discussion in the Facebook group talks about what I would consider minor damage. Now, it may be insulting, it may be hurtful, it may be costly, it may be like really upsetting. But if we remove the emotion from all of this and we just talk about the damage, it's probably relatively minor. And so some examples of that might be makeup on a towel, stained sheets, leaving the kitchen a mess, spilling a little bit of wine on a carpet or something like that. Some of this is just ordinary wear and tear, and hotels deal with it all the time. And since we're sort of in that same business of hospitality and hosting guests in our place, we have to address it similarly. The hotel doesn't get particularly emotional about it. They just chalk it up as a cost of doing business. May not be what you want to hear, but that's sort of the reality. I personally don't spend a lot of time and energy on a broken wine glass, on a makeup towel, on a sheet. I just replace it. I'm charging enough money and my profits are high enough that there's a budget for repair, maintenance, damage, replacement. And so rather than get all up in arms and post on Facebook and go to Airbnb and get into this war with the person and try and collect $17 or whatever, I just chalk it up and say, I hope it doesn't happen again. I know it will, but hopefully it happens so far forward it's not a big deal. And I would encourage you to adopt that same sort of mindset because it'll free you up to be positive and optimistic and upbeat and increase your prices and increase your profitability instead of playing in that space where it's all about like negative and being proven right and emotional and how dare they. That's just not very healthy. And so by way of example, there will be a moment in time, and it's happened to me, where you'll go into your home, you'll open up the cabinet to get a glass of wine, and you had 12 beautiful glasses of wine, and now there's only 6. And the cleaning lady didn't tell you about it, and the guest didn't tell you about it, and you didn't know about it, and you could get upset about it. But all I do is I go to Amazon, I click order, and I order 12 more, not 6 more. So I stock up. So I hope that's helpful, and I want to be really careful to support you because I understand how emotional it is. This is your home, somebody's been in there, they haven't treated it the way that you'd like, and so I get all that, and I empathize with you, but I'm here to encourage you to treat it more like a business and just move forward and be more profitable, and I think we can all get to that point. Now, on the Facebook group, occasionally, and this is pretty rare, we do see some major damage, and I've had 2 problems in my place that were major damage, and here's what I've thought about it. One, it's really, really upsetting. If the place is trashed or there was a party or real furniture was broken, like a couch was broken or a whole rug was destroyed. If we're talking about hundreds or thousands of dollars, if a TV was taken off the wall and it was broken, I mean, if there's real damage, I can't express to you how much empathy I have because it's really like a violation, and that's just awful. So 1, I'm sorry. But 2, now we have to get on with it. And what I have found personally is that Airbnb hasn't been all that helpful. Hopefully they've addressed that. I think with their new Plus and all the ideas that they're trying to come up with to help hosts more, I bet customer service will improve on the hosting side. But when I filed these claims, it wasn't particularly helpful. And the biggest takeaway that I had was they were unable or unwilling to pay or get any security deposit unless I had a receipt. So if I just paid more for cleaning my team or I cleaned it myself, they weren't going to help. If I went out and I bought a new carpet proactively and then I gave them the receipt, then they might try and claw it back. But I found that kind of like after the fact. I don't know that I want to replace something unless I know I'm going to get reimbursed for it. And the way that I felt as a host back then was that I have the security deposit, I have good trust, I'm a super host, and if I say that they broke this, Airbnb would side with me. And what I found was that it wasn't the case. Right? I had to make a case, Airbnb reviewed it, they reached out to the guest had his own point, I didn't have a receipt, I didn't have photo evidence from before, I had broken evidence after, but I couldn't prove that it was the guest. And so at best, I would say it was a mixed experience. I actually walked away pretty negative. but I didn't think they really had my back. I hope that's changed. But what I would say is if there's a major damage like your television or your car or like real furniture or anything like that, that somebody's really done something, then your homeowner's insurance, I think, is probably the best course. But at the end of the day, just realize that Airbnb-ing your home is a very profitable venture, and you should have a budget line item for damage, replacement, wear and tear, new carpets, new towels, new sheets, whatever it is. It's just a cost of doing business. And the sooner you get your arms around that and you remove the emotion from it, the happier you'll be. So in closing, realize that you are a freelancer, you are an independent contractor, you're a business person, you are running your business. The things that you put out in your home for guests to use and or abuse and or use and then have an accident with, that's sort of on you. Don't think that Airbnb has your back. If it's too valuable or it's too expensive or it's too personal, then put it away when you host. But I personally stock all of my homes with things that I really like, that are high quality, but are replaceable. I'm not attached to them. And so if somebody breaks a wine glass or a plate or a platter or, some of the artwork gets damaged, and again, that hasn't really happened, but if it were to happen, I wouldn't be heartbroken. I wouldn't be calling Airbnb and complaining. Airbnb is really just a platform. They're a facilitator. They don't employ us hosts. They're not about us hosts. They're just matching guest and host. And then that's where we have to do the proper screening to make sure we've got a good fit. You can never tell if somebody's a great fit, but you can do your best. And at the same time, I'm a responsible person. I'm a good guest. Can I break a water glass or a wine glass? Of course I can. It could just fall. I could kick it over. It's an accident. Shit happens. But don't lose your head over it. Just keep moving. So I hope you found this helpful. Raise your prices $2 a night. Put that money aside. 200 nights, that's $400. There's $400 worth of wear and tear, replacement parts, glasses, whatever. Boom, that's it, $2. Won't kill you, won't kill them, but you'll feel better if you have a budget for replacement items. Let me know the best case that you've had with Airbnb and the worst case experience with Airbnb. And if I've missed anything, please share it with all of us so we know how to go ahead and file these claims in the unlikely circumstance that we need to. And in the meantime, I hope you've enjoyed the video. Like it, please, and subscribe.